Nets and the Orlando Magic. New Jersey enters action at 1-1. The Magic are 2-1. Let's get the starting lineups right now with PA announcer Gary Sussman.
And now for the starting lineups for this evening's ball game. First for the visiting Orlando Magic. At one guard position, Illinois number 25, Nick Anderson. At the other guard position, number 1, Anfernee Hardaway. At one forward position, number 54, Horace Grant. At the other forward position, number 45, Outlaw. And at the center position, number 8, Isaac Austin. The head coach of the Magic is Chuck Daly. Assistant coaches Brendan Sir, Eric Musselman, Trio Rollins, and Tom Sterner. And the athletic trainer is Tim Walsh.
Not done.
Ladies and gentlemen, let us welcome Sly to this evening's ball game.
Let's get it on.
Number 13, Kendall Gill. At the other guard position, 6'5" from Long Beach State, number 12, Lucius Harris. At one forward position in his 8th year from Old Dominion, 6'10", number 15, Chris Gatley. At the other forward position in his 2nd year from Utah, 6'10", number 44, Keith Van Horn. And at the center position in his 9th year from St. John, 6'10", number 55, Jason Williams. The head coach of the Nets is John Calipari. Assistant coaches Johnny Davis, Kenny Gaddison, Don Casey, Jack Daly, Hal Whistle, and Rich Delatry. And the athletic trainer of your New Jersey Nets, Ted Marzano.
Nets and Magic tonight. Nets won 3 of the 4 meetings versus Orlando last season. This is the first of 3 matchups this year. The final 2 games will be held down at the O-Arena in Florida. Earlier today, we spoke with Jason Williams and asked the Nets captain how New Jersey is going to attack the Magic tonight.
We just got to outplay them as far as with energy. I think we have to use the same synergy and energy. I think we got to go out there and do what we do. Let no one person try to be the star. You know, it's amazing how much you get done when nobody takes credit for it, and everybody goes out there and works hard. So the 2 words of the year for the Nets, so we get everybody back, is synergy and energy.
Little Walt Clyde Frazier from Jason Williams.
There's a commercial in there somewhere.
I think so. And Jason would be a prime example of not worrying about numbers. He took only 2 shots in the victory over Atlanta 3 nights ago. The 79-69 win here at the Meadowlands. Didn't score, but grabbed 13 rebounds and had a huge block shot of Steve Smith down the stretch. How will the Nets handle Anfernee Hardaway, now in his 6th year out of Memphis, a 4-time All-Star, and he is trying to get back to that elite level in the NBA. Penny instrumental in bringing Ike Austin to this Orlando team. Basically went out and recruited him, and the Magic signed Austin, a free agent from the Clippers, to a 3-year, $15 million contract. Joe Forty, Dee Kantner, Don Vaden, the officials, and the Nets control the tap. We're underway. Front end of a back-to-back for New Jersey. They will take a flight to Milwaukee and meet the Bucks tomorrow night.
And interesting enough, Ian, with the point guard situation, Kendall Gill being guarded by Hardaway, so they're approaching it as if Kendall's going to run most of the offense.
Chris Gatling, the drive on Grant, and Gatling gets the Nets on the board as he spills down to the floor.
Put up good numbers with Scott Burrell in the first half against the Hawks. Gatling did. Right off the bat, though, he reaches back for that hamstring a little bit after that move.
Anfernee Hardaway, the leaner. Gill may have gotten a piece. Van Horn. And it is Gill handling the basketball.
We'll see if that frees Lucius Harris up for a couple of jump shots. He's been struggling a little bit.
Good cut by Van Horn as he slams it through.
Little backdoor cut right there. Defender comes up high. Very patient delivery, too, by Gill to start things off. Also for the Nets, off to a good start at the offensive end.
Lucius Harris, the anticipation. He just couldn't hold on to it. And Orlando will retain possession with 14 to shoot. Bo Outlaw remains in the starting lineup. There were some rumors around the Orlando area that Outlaw may come off the bench for Chuck Daly, but for now, Outlaw is in the starting five. Kickball. Jason Williams came off his foot. New shot clock with just over a minute gone by here in the first quarter.
Well, you'll see Van Horn coming up for the backdoor cut here. Defender goes over the top. Van Horn goes right down the middle.
Ball movement, Nick Anderson. He has been shooting with confidence, and it continues. Down the floor, Anderson knocks it over to Van Horn. The short jump rejected by Outlaw. Van Horn didn't see him.
No, Outlaw is one of the types of guys who does everything for this team. He's like kind of like a little like Jason Williams in a sense. Hits the floor a lot, hits the glass, does so many different things, and puts up some pretty good numbers in the amount of time that he's on the floor.
An incredible leaper, made a name for himself in the CBA. Harris off the mark from three-point range, and Hardaway gives up the basketball. It came off his foot.
Shot there for Harris. He's got to take it. Hardaway just not there. First couple of minutes so far, trying to get unglued.
Hall of Famer Chuck Daly, former head coach of the Nets. Spent 2 years here in New Jersey. Jason Williams hitting the deck and the turnover. Hardaway, the slammer.
One of the things Hardaway's been doing well, getting down the floor in a hurry. And Chuck Daly made a mention that if they can get those easy buckets, it takes a lot of pressure off their offense.
Keith Van Horn for two. So Van Horn with 4 quick points, and the Nets have a 6-5 lead. Quickly up the floor, Orlando wasting little time. Ike Austin on the baseline, that big body and a soft touch.
Ike Austin, very impressive last 22 games or so last season with the Heat. Had a good run going and doing a lot of little different things. A little out of shape still like most guys in the NBA, but once he gets his game together, his conditioning, Magic hoping that he will provide some oomph defensively, especially for this team.
The NBA's most improved player back in 1997 as a member of the Heat. Kendall Gill, nothing but net from the outside, and John Calipari likes what he sees.
Nets look like a team that have had a couple of days off from game conditions, working on their conditioning a little bit.
Hardaway cutting down the lane, counted and one.
One of the things that Kendall Gill is going to have some problems with is that little tricky moves that he puts at you offensively all the time. You'll notice him just break him down with the basketball. Tries to get Kendall to stand straight up. When you stand straight up as a defender, that's exactly the time as an offensive player to make your dart towards the basket.
Penny appeared in just 19 games last season because of an injured knee. He has come back in tremendous shape and really rejuvenated, and I think a lot of it has to do with Ike Austin, and he feels comfortable now in the center position, maybe for the first time since Shaquille O'Neal left.
Right, exactly, and it's taken a little pressure off him. I think he had some pressure stepping up when Shaquille left. Now he seems to be just gradually playing the game.
Orlando with its first lead. Lucius Harris a foot on the line. That's a two-pointer, and we're tied at 10.
There's a guy who needed a bucket, too, from the outside. Struggling with his shot. Once you find it, 2 shots. He missed one, but his one just then looked very good. Good rotation.
Both teams shooting well so far. Off the spin. Didn't get the roll for Hardaway. Gill up the floor. Chris Gatling. Gatling lost it. Scramble for the loose ball, and it's picked up by Outlaw. Nets may have a tough time getting back.
Yeah, they have some numbers coming this way.
Outlaw, the bounce for Austin, and the easy dunk.
A couple of guys on the floor. One guy, Keith Van Horn, trailing the play. And the Magic continue to look to push the ball up the floor on John Calipari and troops.
Magic up by 2. Kendall Gill running the offense. The injury to Sam Cassell and to Eric Murdoch. Looks like an isolation. Gill, the pull-up. Comes up short over Hardaway, and it's rebounded by Outlaw.
That's not what they're looking for, though. The 4 other guys were a little stagnant on the left side of the floor.
Screen set by Outlaw. Gill sticks with Hardaway. Grant to the interior. Austin one-on-one with Williams. Illegal defense, the call on New Jersey. It was Chris Gatling out of position.
So Gatling noticed initially that Austin had Jason Williams on the block, decided to go, but then stopped halfway. Grant, known for his outside shooting, you just have to keep him within arm's length on the perimeter.
Post-up situation for Anderson. He passes out of the double team. Hardaway open for 3. Rebounded by Kendall Gill, who had a double-figure rebounding performance last game against Atlanta.
Now, Kendall Gill's conditioning is so strong. That's what's helped him since the beginning of the season.
Lucius Harris can't convert from the outside.
John Calipari said, if you're not going to shoot the basketball, I'm going to pull you out. Lucius has taken 3 shots already that he's had. They were good looks.
Orlando will hold on to the basketball with 15 remaining on the timer. 7:19 to play in the first. And the Magic with a 12-10 lead. Outlaw the trigger man. Hardaway working off the screen. Anderson open. He hit a 3 earlier and tack on another.
Well, he's getting great rotation on the basketball also. We had a good look right over his right shoulder. John Calipari wants to talk things over for 20 seconds.
Now it's a full timeout. Step aside with 7:05 to play in the first. Magic lead by 5. Chuck Daly's Orlando Magic in front 15-10. Daly in his second year with the Magic. Earlier, we asked him if he believes that it's been 5 years since he was the head man in New Jersey.
Yeah, that old line about time flies when you're having fun. But yeah, it's I love the time I was here. I love the Jersey fans. I love living in Fort Lee and taking that, ferry across to New York. It was a great time of my life. I wish sometimes they'd had some of the personnel we'd have had. They got a couple kids here now, pretty interesting.
Keith Van Horn had it blocked by Bo Outlaw, one of the players that Daly is really in love with on his roster. Hardaway one-on-one with Van Horn. There's a mismatch somewhere. It's Gill with Grant. Shot clock at 6.
Dump that down. He had a good look. Good look.
Horace Grant couldn't get it to drop, and it's rebounded by Gatling.
I don't think Grant anticipated the pass from Austin, but he was wide open when the rotation was a little late down deep.
To the outside, Van Horn. Keith Van Horn, that textbook stroke. He's got 6.
And he's getting squared up to the basket also. It's very interesting to watch his footwork, too, as he catches the basketball, getting himself squared up as the ball's coming towards him.
Anderson for 3. It rims out. Van Horn gathers in.
Little trap at half court.
Kendall Gill travel. But they may call the jump ball first, and they will. We are just past the halfway point of the first quarter, and the Magic with a 15-12 lead.
Now you saw the Nets at half court just then trapping a little bit. One of the things the Magic had a lot of success with recently in the early part of this season against the Celtics. When the Celtics started trapping and pushing up on them full court, they got past the first wave and they did attack. So we'll keep an eye on that to see what happens with the Nets at their half-court trap. They're not going to allow Anderson to stay where he is with that foot in between.
Gill will jump it up with Hardaway. Joe 40 the toss in the air, and Orlando controls it. Outlaw on a crossover, getting around Van Horn, and he's fouled.
Quick crossover, to say the least. I mean, he had Van Horn standing out 15, 16 feet from the basket. And then continues to just go after the basketball, goes after the rim with the basketball, which is always a smart move when drawing the bigger forwards out on the floor.
Bo Outlaw posted a triple-double versus New Jersey back in April. 25 points, 13 rebounds, 10 assists. Also had 5 blocks. Those were the numbers in the victory over Boston on Monday night. Outlaw, not known for his scoring skills, but gives you all the intangibles that you look for. Not exactly the prettiest of free throw strokes, but
Well, not at all.
effective.
Finished the year, what, second in the league in shooting last year, too. Most of those in close, the tight type variety.
Van Horn had his pocket picked by Hardaway, and a break opportunity for Orlando.
A little late getting the ball to Penny on that trip.
Off the penetration, the floater by Hardaway.
That's where he's so good, though, Lion. Even when he gets the basketball late, he's the ability of putting the ball on the floor. He's so smooth, so quick, can really make a lot happen.
Van Horn was trying to back down Outlaw, and Bo Outlaw picks up the personal.
Hardaway waiting for the basketball. Here's the strip defensively. Now he gets off, and you have a big guy handling the ball. Notice he's not looking to our right, looking at that play, and that's where Hardaway wanted the ball a little quicker, but then he makes something out of it. I like the way the Nets are going through Van Horn again.
On a cross-court feed, Harris saves it. Tried to dish it off. And the Nets turn it over for the 4th time.
The rotation pretty good that trip, too, and the recovery by the Magic.
Orlando 18, New Jersey 12. Out on the perimeter, Anfernee Hardaway leading this 11-4 run for the Magic. Illegal defense, second time it's been called on the New Jersey Nets. So a free throw coming up for the Magic.
Nets getting caught halfway, not knowing whether they should go all the way to double team or just holding back.
Hardaway doesn't get the roll, and we'll see our first substitution. Scott Burrell, coming off a fine performance on Sunday night, steps in for Lucius Harris. Burrell had 16 points in 30 minutes of action against the Hawks.
Now you match up the backcourt with Burrell on Anderson. This is a good matchup defensively for the Nets, and it puts Gill obviously on Hardaway, so 2 big guys.
Hardaway, a finger roll. It came out. Nets push it up the floor. Over their last 8 possessions, the Nets are 1 of 4 from the field, 4 turnovers. And they miss again from the outside. Burrell.
Tough way to get started right away. Scotty Burrell.
Not shy as he knocks it down for 3.
Not at all shy. First one, he really didn't have the lift in his legs. If you can blame that on the fact that he's sitting on the bench for about 7 or 8 minutes or so of game time, which is about 12, 15 minutes of regular time.
Anderson may have gotten away with one. They've got to call something because Anderson walked.
That's a late whistle, too.
Looks like they'll call the push. Joe Forty making the call on Kendall Gill. Injuries for the Nets. Roddy Cycli may play on Monday. Kittle's the right knee. May play tomorrow against Milwaukee. Same situation for Sam Cassell. And the Eric Murdoch injury appears to be a little more serious. He's out indefinitely.
Take a look at Murdoch on the left, Kittle's on the right. One thing about that, Ian, is that early in the year, you're going to see John Calipari, and he's made some statements already about not letting guys play until he thinks they're ready to go and physically fit. Because the last thing you want to do, like, for example, with a guy like Murdoch, put him in a couple of days too early. Next thing you know, you aggravate the groin, and you've got 2 weeks looking at you again.
Second personal called on Kendall Gill. So Lucius Harris returns and promptly misses from the field. Burrell up high for the rebound. Burrell in a crowd. Trying to hold on to it. They swarm around Burrell, and he's forced to take a timeout.
Or they get it. Oh,
Burrell called the timeout, it appeared. And John Calipari didn't want the timeout to go through.
Now, see, Dee Cantner put her hand up to indicate she was going to call a foul, and then she said to Calipari she's overriding the foul with the timeout previous to the foul.
So a 20-second timeout. Burrell saying to Dee Cantner, as you can read the lips, hey, how about the foul before I call the timeout?
It's exactly what he's questioning, and same thing with Coach John Calipari. Watch this reaction. You called a foul. He's saying the same thing. Your hand went up for the foul, and she's saying no.
You want to do the dubbing for the foreign audience?
Great reaction right there for Cal. He was right on it, though.
As was D. Cantner, who felt that the timeout was called before any contact was made. 3:29 left in the first. Magic 18, Nets 15. Ian Eagle, Jim Spanarkel, Mike Crispino with you from the Continental Airlines Arena. Our entire Fox Sports New York crew on hand. Keith Van Horn looking for the tie. And it's rebounded by Grant.
Pulled the trigger a little bit on that shot.
Nets now shooting 41% from the field, 7 of 17. The Magic at 50%, 7 of 14.
There's Grant with the flare out.
Off a ball reversal, Horace Grant. Doesn't take a lot of shots over the course of a game, but the shots he takes, usually high percentage. And Earl Boykins has just popped off the bench. Williams has not been looking for his shot so far this season. Burrell has. A little too hard.
Those long rebounds are like outlet passes, excuse me.
You're excused.
Thank you.
Austin the drive in on Williams. Little shovel pass for Outlaw. And the reach-in foul called on Burrell. Break of the action. 2:36 to play in the first. Orlando leads by 5.
Green buddies, I got some bad news. We got canned.
Orlando has jumped to a 5-point lead, and for the most part, their execution at the offensive end has been pretty good. Horace Grant has gotten involved. If you look here, Grant's going to come over, and he's going to set a screen for Hardaway. Hardaway's going to dribble the ball to the middle, and then Grant is going to float to his open spot for his shot. And also at the end of this play, watch for Keith Van Horn, just a tiny bit late. So here comes the screen. Hardaway over, the flare to the corner for the shot, and Van Horn's rotation just a touch late, and that allows Grant to just get his flare shot, which he's very good at hitting.
Penny Hardaway attacking the rim. The reverse layup didn't drop, and Outlaw couldn't get it to go. Boykins now in the game for the Nets.
Good decision by Boykins just then. Bring it back a little.
Scott Burrell could not hit the three. Van Horn unable to slam it. And the Nets just coming up empty on the offensive end. Hardaway the bounce for Grant, the easy deuce.
Van Horn can't believe that he missed that follow-up shot. What do the Magic do? They come down and make some good things happen.
Burrell trying to take the baseline.
It should be a kick.
And it is. We'll reset the lineups for you. Nets have Boykins, Harris, Van Horn, Burrell, and Williams. Orlando with some changes. Darrell Armstrong now on the floor with Bo Outlaw, Horace Grant, Penny Hardaway, and Michael Doliak, the rookie out of Utah. Nets 2 of their last 12 from the field over the last 7 minutes of game action. Van Horn makes his move on Grant. Little up fake, and it works to perfection.
And a nice strong cut, too, by Lucius Harris to take some defenders with him on that play.
Nets shooting only 36%, but they are hanging around here in the first quarter. A 5-point deficit with Orlando in front. Hardaway zigzagging his way to the rim, and he draws the foul.
See, there's that little half-court trap again, Ian, that we referenced before. Half-court trap by the Nets. Once the Magic get behind it, a guy like Hardaway is really going to try to break you down, not only with the dribble, but force and look for opportunities. The 2-on-1s, the 3-on-2s.
Second personal foul called on Keith Van Horn, so Penny Hardaway will get some free throws. And we'll see another substitution for the Orlando Magic. Georgia Tech's Matt Harpering, another rookie for Chuck Daly, who has been a little more giving with his minutes for rookies as opposed to earlier in his coaching career, as Jim McElveen comes on for the Nets to replace Van Horn after getting his second personal foul. Daly not one to feature rookies if he doesn't have to, but he likes what he sees from Harpering and from Doliak so far.
Right, the both of them have surprised. They've both played well, and a lot of people are talking about Harpering in particular.
Jason Williams fouled on the outside. It's just the second team foul on the Orlando Magic, and their first in the last 2 minutes. So a side out for the Nets with 1:22 to play. First quarter. Earl Boykins already getting interview requests from Regis and Kathy Lee and David Letterman. Lucius Harris, a tough angle, and he gives it away. Armstrong, the lead pass. Harpering the short pop. Burrell couldn't grab it, but Armstrong does, and a new shot clock for the Magic with just over a minute to play in the first. Wow. Anfernee Hardaway, tough fake.
Was it ever?
And Anfernee Hardaway will get off the deck and shoot free throws.
That's that hesitation dribble he has. It's just a beautiful freeze along the baseline. And then trying to make something happen right there, but that's part of the shot. He knew he was going to take his lumps on that one.
Anfernee Hardaway, 2 shots.
Nice look.
I think he was looking at you.
You think?
Anfernee Hardaway. Orlando now 4 of 9 from the free throw line as Dominique Wilkins, 15th year in the NBA, the human highlight film, on for the first time tonight with 59.2 left on the clock. Hardaway has 10 points and 2 assists. Boykins guarded by Armstrong. Armstrong listed at 6'1", Boykins 5'5".
Towers over him, doesn't he?
Harris, an air ball. He's really struggling. Williams saves it. Shot clock doesn't reset. Burrell, a long 3, short. Williams, offensive rebound. Harris, one dribble, takes it to the goal. And a blocking foul call.
That's a good call from the officials also, Joe Forte. And Harris recognizing he has the size and some strength over Armstrong down on the blocks. But Jason Williams is the storyline here. Watch Jason go after the basketball and the quick recognition. And then Armstrong jumps out a little bit, but his foot's still on that dashed line down below. And you have to clear that, especially if you want to pick up that offensive foul call.
Harris did not get the roll on the layup attempt. He does go to the free throw line for 2. Harris 1 of 5 shooting, 2 points. Make it 3.
See, but he has taken some good shots, though, on his 1 for 5. His misses have been all good misses because John Calipari has told him, shoot the basketball when you're open. That's what your job is. Get out there, shoot the ball. If you don't, you're going to find yourself sitting next to him on the bench.
Nets down 6. They should get the ball back. About a 7-second difference. Shot clock to game clock. Wilkins had it blocked by McElvaney. Gets it back. Threading the needle underneath. Harpering didn't get the roll, but he's going to the free throw line. And the foul called on McElvaney. He picks up a quick 2 in just 1 minute of game action.
Interesting enough, too, it's Dominique Wilkins who's causing this because he's going after just playing Dominique-type basketball and gets actually the big play, too, getting his own rebound on that wild shot that he threw up at first.
You weren't really matched up with Dominique, were you?
I owned him.
Oh, yeah. Well, we bring Dominique over, put a headset on him, and see what he has to say.
He's another guy who used to send a limo over for me, so if I had to guard
Make sure you got there on time.
Exactly.
In one piece.
You didn't want to see me get hurt before the game.
Nets hold for 1 with 10 seconds to play in the first. Boykins, the point guard for this unit, gives up his dribble. Williams with 4. And a foul called up front with 3 seconds to play.
See, this is a lineup where the Nets may have a little problem putting points on the board also, Ian. When you look out there, they should be shooting, right?
Yes, they will.
Yeah.
Jason Williams will be at the line. Yeah, with McElvaney and Jason Williams up front.
It's a different look. You don't have a Van Horn or Gatling to release the pressure off the perimeter players. So a lot of this has to come from the perimeter, and a lot of it has to come with follow-ups with Williams.
Give Jason credit, though. Williams has shown improvement in his free throw shooting, 67% last season. And that's up a bit from what we saw in previous years. Orlando with 3 seconds left. Armstrong from half court, the heave. Whoa, nearly went down.
That was right there, wasn't it?
End of the first quarter here at the Meadowlands. The Orlando Magic in front of the Nets, 27-21. Second quarter coming up.
And so the detective said the butler didn't do it. It was. My book! Let's go, Brick. Where's that page? I gotta finish my book.
Hello, sir. Can you please tell me how your book ends?
No!
Now I'll never know.
Brick!
Oh, Brick, look what I've got. Good dog.
Look under Sprite caps and you could win free Sprite or a $25,000 paycheck.
2 words, kid. Savings account.
Let Kobe take
Traveling. You know about traveling. You do it all over the court. A steady, long-term growth.
I don't know what's weaker, your advice or your game?
Weak? Yeah, weak. Hey, don't make me come over there.
Excuse me?
You want me to say it
Guys,
again?
I kind of have to get home.
Anybody here talking to you?
No.
I didn't think so.
The straight salary cap game.
You heard me. I don't think I did.
What you do with the money is your choice.
I think you did.
Welcome back to the Meadowlands. Orlando leading 27-21. Mike Crispino in the third row with Sharice Strawberry. And first, let's get the update on Daryl. He's been taking some chemotherapy, but you tell me he's getting close to being 100%. Is that right?
Almost. He's almost there. He's back in California. Hi, Daryl, and with my kids. And he's doing very well. We'll be in spring training on Saturday, so he'll be there a little early, and he's doing good.
Is it true? I heard him say if he doesn't make the Yankees, he wants to go to work for the Mets. Is that right?
Is that right?
That's what I heard he said.
I don't know. I can't say that. He's Yankees first, though.
I would say. How about Miles Simon? This kid can play basketball, can he? Do you know about him at all?
I know about him. That's my baby brother. So
You grew up together in Orange County. Was he always a great player as a young kid, or did he develop?
He learned from me. I played basketball, too. So, yes, no, he was a good kid. Good kid. So, good player. Followed me around the gym. My dad played pro ball, so he's got it in the blood.
The good thing is now you get a chance to see him because you go to Tampa and watch with Daryl at spring training, and he's in Orlando, right?
That's right. We'll drive about an hour away and go see him a lot. So I got baseball, basketball all at once.
All right, Jim Spanarkel, that's our baseball update. I know you're a huge baseball fan. Ian, back to you.
You know, Jimmy was a pitcher at 2. Actually, not many people know that. Off the block shot. Boykins, the pull-up jumper. Off the mark.
I developed that pitch and duck move.
That's for Enos Slaughter.
That's right.
Correct?
Enos Slaughter, my freshman year in college.
He was your
Country
manager?
Slaughter. Enos Slaughter.
Words of wisdom, I'm sure, out of the
Oh, we had a great time with Enos Slaughter. The original Pete Rose, Charlie Hustle.
Whistle stops play, and illegal defense is the call. Matt Harpering out of position. It's the first violation on Orlando, and a new shot clock for the Nets to work with. Jim McIlvaine doing what he does best.
Making people think about the shot, and that one he gets a hand on and keeps it in play. Bill Russell of the Boston Celtics used to do in the old days, keep the ball in play on the shot clock.
Just over a minute gone by here in the second quarter. Gatling in a matchup with Dominique Wilkins. Armstrong got a hand on it. Gatling couldn't get it to drop.
Anderson hanging around, scooping the ball off the floor. A lot of blue jerseys in there, defensive rebounding.
Nick Anderson wasting little time and burying the three-pointer.
Well, he's luring you out there. I mean, now you have to go out. You shoot the ball so well. 3 from that range, you just have to go out. You have to be protective on the defense.
9 points for Anderson, all from downtown. Foul called on Dominique Wilkins.
Team's first in the second quarter.
That's the first team foul on Orlando here in the second quarter. And for Wilkins, his third personal. 3-point shooting, might as well just put Nick Anderson's name up there. He's hit all 3 for the Magic. Boykins with Armstrong, offensive foul call.
They're going to get Harris pushing off, I believe.
It is the first called on Harris.
Harpering was not allowing him to go across the lane.
And Orlando can bring its lead to double figures. Gatling knocked it out of bounds with 14 seconds left on the 24. Dominique Wilkins, a 9-time All-Star, recently played in Greece, 2-time slam dunk champion. 8th all-time in scoring in NBA history, a future Hall of Famer.
I was watching him before the game, Ian, shooting the basketball. Boy, was he stroking it from long range and getting off the floor also.
Off the post pass, late whistle, Austin is fouled. Harris picks up back-to-back personal fouls, and Ike Austin will be going to the free throw line.
Harris appears to be struggling mentally a little bit also. It's a physical battle, obviously, every night you play this game, but just this little hesitation in his game defensively. Even though tonight offensively not shooting the ball real well, when you don't see the ball go in enough, it starts to play in your mind a little bit.
Jason Williams comes in for Jim McIlvaine, and now Kendall Gill will replace Lucius Harris. 13 minutes for Harris, 1 of 5 shooting, 4 points, 2 assists. Horace Grant back on the floor. And Dominique Wilkins will get a breather. Another free throw coming up for Ike Austin. Doesn't get the roll. Williams with a rebound. That's number 9 for Jason. Gill out front, defended by Harpering. Low post, Williams.
Not looking to score at all.
Kendall Gill off the spin move. Gill now has 4. And the Magic lead is 8. Anderson. Wow, can't miss.
Man, is he looking to get that off in a hurry, and he is.
Woo. Shooting 45% from three-point range entering play. Earl Boykins on the penetration.
Playing smart basketball, Boykins. Nice little breakdown just then, conscious of where the big guys are, and the little floater through the lane.
Orlando 34, New Jersey 25. Anderson again. Oh my goodness!
Lightning. Is that lightning? You just have to stay on his hip. Force him to drive to the basket.
That is one of the quickest releases you will see.
Oh, man. Like throwing a dart.
Foul call. Nets will have the ball when we come back down 11.
Dearest Valentine.
To the one I love.
Nah, to someone special. Someone special. Roses are red.
Valentine's our special day.
What rhymes with orange?
And you're special as a three-point play.
There's no Z in xylophone.
When we're apart, I'm in a funk.
Cramp.
When we're together, I want to dunk.
That's dumb. No. Now that is bad.
The first player ever drafted by the Orlando Magic, Nick Anderson, got his confidence back second half of last season, and he is confident shooting the basketball tonight.
Well, confident because you can tell how quickly he's squaring up and just letting it rip, and I mean letting it rip. And here's one, he just rips away again. The confidence is there, but the squaring to the basket, look at those numbers, 4 of 5 from long range.
Anderson averaged 24 points per game after the All-Star break last season, and it has been a carryover into 1999. Shot clock is down to 12. Gill setting it up for Gatling. Burrell a 3. Knocked up in the air. Hardaway controls it back on the floor for Orlando. And Matt Harpering beat the Nets down the floor for the bucket.
That's called cheating out. And Hardaway with great court awareness with a quick pass down the floor. But Harpering pretty smart to skip on that one, guys. 4 blue jerseys are once again down in the paint area.
Lob upstairs. Gatling off a spin. Baseline jump.
He's really been shooting the ball well consistently. Another guy who's squaring up after he's spinning away. He's a difficult guy to defend because of that left arm, the long arms of Chris Gatling.
Chris Gatling, 4 points.
And here's the versatility of Anderson. They got him front at him because he's too good on the blocks.
Touch pass from Harpering to Austin. The cutter, Anfernee Hardaway, stolen away by Gatling. Nets with numbers. Gill on a dish off. Burrell up and under, and a foul.
Good run just then also for Keith Van Horn. He got out on the left side of the floor. If Keith Van Horn doesn't run, he doesn't run the floor, he doesn't get the hoop. But here's the cheat out. You see the shot coming from the corner here. And now watch this cheat out here. He sees that his team has the ball, but look at Gill. Gill's in the play, and he's already cheated the half court. And it doesn't matter who the faster runner is. It's the first guy to half court, because then you have the angles going down the floor, especially if you get a guy who can pass the ball like Hardaway in the back court.
Pretty much how you got your points in Dallas.
Cheating out. It's always a race to half court, my friend.
You were given a head start, and more often than not, still not winning.
I was one of the first 9 guys down the floor, usually.
Who was the 10? Horace Grant from the outside. The Orlando Magic are shooting 52% from the field, and they have a 40-29 lead. Van Horn driving to the basket for the slam.
He's gotten better in 1 year going to the basket with the basketball. Good use of the left hand. I'm not so sure there are many power forwards that are going to be able to defend him out of the 17 to 19 foot range.
That's still under that 40% mark.
There's a little flare by Grant.
Horace Grant, the flip with the left hand.
See, that's the same exact play we telestrated before, Ian, but this time the Nets react to who the shooter is, and he's smart enough to know they're coming at him.
A blocking foul called as Austin got in front of Kendall Gill. That's the third team foul on the Orlando Magic. Side out for the Nets when we come back to the Meadowlands after these words.
Everybody loves these guys, and everybody loves a chance to pocket a few of them, too.
And through Monday, you can pocket a few thousand of them with 1.9, 2.9, or 3.9 APR financing on any Camry, Solara, or Corolla in stock. How's that for democratic? This special ends Monday, so get going. This President's Day weekend, you won't find a better way to save.
Hey, would I tell a lie?
Execution has been pretty good by the Magic. We've talked about this play before. Grant will come over, Hardaway over the top. Remember from this spot here before, Grant shot the basketball. Now watch how he reacts when Jason Williams comes all the way across to defend him. Here comes Williams, he's cheating. Boom, he's got a guy coming at him defensively, and that's when you attack. You attack to the strong side. Jason was leading to with the left side of his body. You go against the grain.
Horace Grant, an all-star back in 1994. Brian Evans, a former member of the Orlando Magic. He will wait for the next dead ball and check in then. He came over in the deal with Ronnie Cycli just about a year ago. Van Horn in some major traffic. He never got the shot off.
Yeah, a little floater. You have to attack a little better than that.
Hardaway one-on-one with Gill, trying to back him down. Austin, the dump down. Harpering on the interior, and Isaac Austin has done an outstanding job of passing the basketball underneath the basket.
And twice we've seen him too, Ian, not only with the pass, but faking a shot at the same time.
Van Horn tried to get it all in one motion. Nets are coming up empty time and time again, down to 36% from the field. Van Horn is 5 of 11 shooting.
That's one he's just frustrated by. That's one that he knows he generally puts in. The one before that, though, Keith Van Horn, if you notice, gets caught underneath real low on the basket. And so he doesn't have a choice but to kind of come out and flip it up over his head. That's because the entry pass took him just a little bit too far.
Horace Grant had the block shot on that possession. And Jason Williams called for the personal foul, giving Orlando the basketball. On the turnaround jump, Matt Harpring, four-year starter at Georgia Tech.
Starting to get a feel why Chuck Daly's playing him a bit, huh?
Scott Burrell on the dish off for Gill. Kendall Gill knocks it down. Gill now with 6 points, but the Nets in a 13-point hole with 5:34 to play, first half. Hardaway breaking down Gill. On the pass for Austin. Van Horn may have gotten hit in the head.
It was Austin, I think, who got him, and I don't know if they're going to call Austin with the foul.
Foul number 15, Matt Harpring.
No, it will be Matt Harpring called for the personal foul.
And that's on the penalty situation.
Yeah, I thought it was Austin who came in and kind of swiped the ball, but hit Keith Van Horn in the face. Watch number 8 to the left of your screen, right in the middle here. See, yep, that's his big hand coming across.
But the Magic over the limit, so Van Horn is going to the free throw line. Isaac Austin, one of those interesting players on this Orlando roster, as Van Horn misses. Paid his dues in the CBA, went to France, Turkey, before finally getting a chance to make a name for himself in the NBA. Bo Outlaw, similar situation. Darrell Armstrong. And Derek Strong, another player who was placed on the injured list earlier today. Strong, a CBA refugee as well. Field goal shooting this quarter. Orlando, 8 of 10. Evans knocked it away, but the net didn't come away with it. Leads to an uncontested dunk for Grant.
Evans had a shot at the basketball. I thought he thought a teammate was going to gather it in, but you can't take anything for granted. You must go after the basketball.
Nets take a timeout. 5:03 left, first half. 48-34, Orlando. Keep up with the Nets during this fast-paced season by purchasing one of the many ticket plans the Nets have to offer. For ticket information, call the Nets at 1-800-7-NJ-NETS. That's 1-800-7-NJ-NETS.
The Nets scrambling a little bit on defense. You'll see Burrell get into trouble right here. He's going to fall down, and then Evans is going to try to help out. And watch Evans come across. After he helps out, he tracks the basketball. He tries to get a hand in. He gets it there. And now watch over here. He doesn't go after the basketball. He does a very good job of helping out, but fails to track the ball down and get it right to his chest.
Evans may have thought that Van Horn was closer to the ball than he actually was.
Right, I think that's exactly what he was thinking. And then once again, he was trying to kind of cheating out. You could sense his body language, wanted to get down offensively, but you need to get possessions.
And the Nets need some buckets.
Van Horn wants the left side of the court to himself.
On the clear out, Van Horn lost the dribble. He turned it over.
Hit it right off his foot. And then it died on him, and he couldn't go down low enough. That ball never bounced back up after it hit the foot because it dies on the leather shoe.
7th turnover for New Jersey. Orlando with just 1. Austin way out on the perimeter. Grant to the outside and Hardaway. Anfernee Hardaway is fouled.
He's so good at the hesitation. Didn't you get the feel that he was going to pull up from about 12 feet just then, but he keeps the dribble alive. That great body language for Hardaway. And it just allows him to break people down off the dribble.
Second foul called on Scott Burrell. Matt Harpering and Horace Grant have combined for the last 12 Orlando points until Hardaway's free throw.
Watch this hesitation. Right here, you get the feeling that he's pulling up, and he locks everybody. Boy, he locks knees on the defensive side as well as anybody with the basketball.
An all-NBA first-team performer back in 1995 and 96. Injuries a major problem the last couple of years.
Looks very comfortable on the floor, though.
Jason Williams. Couldn't get it to drop. Williams is now 0 of 4 shooting. Hardaway on a spin. Magic with their largest lead. Hardaway baseline pop, high arcing delivery. Williams the rebound. He's got 11. Gill leading the break. 1-on-2 splitting defenders. Offensive foul is the call.
See, the problem there also was the fact that they did not have good spacing at all. Gill and Van Horn probably could have touched one another running down the floor. You hear about telegraphing a pass. That was a telegraph dribble down the floor. You'll see Austin right in the middle of the screen. He's just standing there. He's so big and wide, holds his ground pretty well. And Kendall Gill, not a good choice.
Calipari having a chat with Gill. He's replaced in the lineup by Lucius Harris. 49-34 Orlando, under 4 minutes to play in the second quarter.
Good baseline cut by Hardaway.
Rims out. Hardaway is now 3 of 10 shooting. He has 11 points.
Lucius Harris back to the point guard position.
Scott Burrell puts it on the floor. Hard drive, count it, and 1.
You see the difference when you dribble from a shorter distance away, and especially if there's good movement away from the basketball. Guys can't step up and step in your path. And here comes Burrell, and especially Hardaway when he hits the floor, but he doesn't step in and take many of those charges. Can't blame him with Burrell coming at him either, by the way.
That's Hardaway's first foul, and yes, you're right about Burrell. Strong body who claims he is not in basketball shape as of yet. Made the point to Mike Crispino on our postgame show on Sunday night. Once he hits 7-8 jumpers in a row, that's probably when he'll be in basketball shape. The built-in excuse right now is, not quite in shape yet.
And I think he added to that, too, with the dunking. Once you see him dunk, then he's in shape.
We haven't seen it yet. Hardaway working the baseline.
Good help.
Blocked from behind. Brian Evans got a piece. Hardaway's former teammate. Harris for 2.
Instincts just then. No thought process, just instincts. It's a good way to play basketball. Nice handoff by Jason Williams. Harris definitely has gotten the John Calipari message. Shoot the ball if you're open.
Lucius Harris now with 6 points. And Chuck Daly wants a 20-second timeout. 2:54 mark of the second quarter, and Orlando with a 10-point advantage.
Yeah, Penny Hardaway, everybody knows he's good on the blocks. You'll see some help coming across. There's Van Horn, number 1. Look at Evans to the right of the screen, and Jason Williams in a good spot to gather up and get his hand on the basketball also.
Now a full timeout has been called here at the Continental Airlines Arena. We'll stay right here with the Magic in front, 49-39. Coming up at halftime, the New York Marriott Marquis halftime report, Broadway's biggest hit. We'll have highlights for you. Jim and I will take a closer look at the first half of action, and Mike Crispino will be joined by Nets general manager John Nash, all coming up on the New York Marriott Marquis halftime report. There's John, the GM of this team, formerly with Washington and with Philadelphia. Has made some major moves during his time spent with the New Jersey Nets, and a power broker sitting alongside David Falk, the agent for Keith Van Horn and Kerry Kittles. Maybe discussions are happening as we speak on the Kerry Kittles contract.
You're going with the scoop as he yawns right on cue, huh?
I'm going to go with no.
Might have been, John, I'm tired. How about you?
Coming up for the Nets, the second half of their back-to-back. They are in Milwaukee. Check it out if you can. Please do on Fox Sports New York. Nets and the Bucks tomorrow at 8:30. Fox Sports New York gets its coverage started with Continental Airline Nets game night with Mike Crispino at 8 o'clock. Tomorrow night, New Jersey battles the Bucks in Milwaukee. 8:30 tip-off right here on Fox Sports New York. Well, you know, it's Fox Sports New York hat night here at the Meadowlands tonight. Obviously, he didn't want to wear his hat.
Same with him. There we go.
Nice red cap. Did you get yours?
No, I did not.
I did not get mine either. You know, our producer, director, associate producer, etc. got theirs. Anderson. Oh, Nick Anderson is not human. He can't miss.
He is all over it. And the Nets are not all over him, that's for sure.
6 of 7 from the field. Williams tried to go glass. He missed it. Hardaway. 2.5 to play. First half. Orlando up double figures by 12. Bo Outlaw one-on-one with Evans. Little help. Hardaway left open for a moment. He gave it away for Van Horn. Nets on the move. Van Horn leading. And Orlando gets back defensively.
Yeah, pretty well, actually. They're getting back defensively.
Evans, good rotation, but the touch not soft enough. Brian Evans missing on his first field goal attempt.
You see why Hardaway's rebounding numbers are pretty good this year so far. He's going after the glass defensively.
He's got 5 boards tonight. Lucius Harris. He gets whistled for the personal foul. That is number 3 on Harris. Just the 4th team foul, though, on New Jersey, so a side out. First foul in the last 2 minutes.
Penny Hardaway is healthy. He is a solid basketball player, isn't he? He does so many different things. I know he's a 4-time All-Star and all, but, I mean, just his basics are great. Makes everybody around him better. You have to spend so much time looking after him.
Outlaw tried to bounce it to Anderson. Burrell ahead of the pack. Scott Burrell with the layup.
He's looking for a call also. They have gotten hit on the way to the hoop.
There was some contact from behind by Bo Outlaw.
Thought we might have a chance to see a dunk there. Not in shape yet.
Half-court trap. Orlando handles it. Outlaw.
That should go the other way.
It is an offensive foul.
Little action afterwards.
Scott Burrell taking the charge in the second personal on Bo Outlaw.
Great anticipation on the defensive effort. You'll see backdoor cut here, and then Burrell waits it out and takes the hit, sacrifices the body, and he's outside the dotted line.
Then the extracurricular following the play. Nets can cut it to single digits with 10 to shoot. Lob upstairs, knocked away. Anderson on the floor, saves it for Hardaway. 1 minute to play, second quarter. And the Nets turn it over for the 9th time. Hardaway will take his time out front. To the interior. Bo Outlaw. Van Horn got a piece. Evans gets it into the hands of Harris. Harris straight down the lane. It's blocked away by Outlaw. Williams on the inside using the body. He couldn't get one off. Williams again. And the tap goes through Van Horn.
Terrific effort, though, all the way around with the Nets. Van Horn Jason Williams. Harris with the strong drive, even though it was blocked. Bring it to the basket, make something happen with it.
13 points, 5 rebounds for Van Horn, 13 boards for Jason Williams. And the Nets trail by 8.
See if Evans does a little sneak out of the run. Here he comes.
5-second difference, shot clock to game clock. Hardaway makes his move. Outlaw on the kick out for Austin.
Good defensive set right there. 5 seconds.
Burrell with 3. Burrell with 2.
Great look.
Anderson, three-pointer for it at the buzzer. And that's it for the first half. Lucius Harris may be injured as he lies on the floor in pain. Time has run out here in the second quarter, with the Magic in front 51-43. Ted Arzonico, the team trainer, out on the floor to take a look at Lucius. And another guard feeling the pain for New Jersey. Already Sam Cassell, Eric Murdoch, and Kerry Kittles out of action because of injury. Harris being helped to his feet.
He may be cramping up in the back.
And he's going to be able to walk it off. The New York Marriott Marquis halftime report is coming up with Mike Crispino. 51-43, Orlando in front. First meeting of the season, the Nets and Magic here at the Meadowlands. Stay with us on Fox Sports New York. On Fox Sports New York. Second half action here at the Continental Airlines Arena. 8-point Magic lead. Mike Austin setting up in the post. Gatling came over to help. Austin got the bounce, could not get the follow. And he took a hard fall. He was fouled.
It's a big fella going down just then, but the effort pretty good.
He's listed at 6'10", 270. His first couple of years in the league, he was well over 300. First half statistics brought to you by the New York Marriott Marquis, Broadway's biggest hit. Field goal percentage continues to be a problem for the Nets. They shot 40% in their victory over the Atlanta Hawks on Sunday night. For the rebounds, probably kept the Nets in this game. 29-17. Turnovers an issue as well. Austin hitting the first free throw.
Well, you talked about rebounding also. Keith Van Horn doing a nice job of picking up his third that last trip. How about Jason Williams' numbers at the half with 13 rebounds already?
13 boards, but he is 0 of 7 shooting from the field. Most of those on second chance attempts, following a tip in. 2 points as he hit 2 of 2 from the line. Austin will get a second free throw. He resuscitated his career under Pat Riley in Miami. Would like to coach when he finishes his playing career.
Just as long as they don't like the broadcast. That's what
yeah, that's all you like to hear.
I like to hear them wanting to coach and go to the front offices.
I'll start pointing out all the guys that want to be broadcasters afterwards. Kendall Gill short from the side. Outlaw the rebound. And that's number 5 for him. So the Magic with a 10-point lead. Wearing their new uniforms. Celebrating their 10th anniversary. Austin off the mark from the outside. Gill leads the break with Harris. Anderson came over to defend him.
Harris with another grimace on his face as he ran the floor that time. Remember, at the end of the second quarter, he left under a little distress.
Van Horn rimming out. Austin the board. He was uncontested, left alone. No white jerseys in the vicinity.
Plus a lot coming from the outside also. Not a whole lot of attacks going on for the Nets down deep.
Anderson.
Oh, man.
He is smoking hot.
And the release just keeps getting faster and faster if that's possible. And John Calipari wants to talk things over at the other end.
22nd timeout. Nick Anderson now 7 of 8 from the field, 18 points.
See Harris coming around that screen, that little rotation and pivot away from Harris. Harris was moving towards the middle of the floor. You see him coming towards the middle. Anderson moves away with his pivot. Boy, does he just drill it. That ball is rotating as much as you possibly can on the jump shot. I'm sure John Calipari said at the half, hey guys, let's try to stay close to him. And Harris was trying to that trip, but
Nick Anderson, former college roommate of Kendall Gill at the University of Illinois, team that went to the Final Four back in 1989. 55-43, Magic.
See if they try to get Gatling involved on the blocks a little bit.
Van Horn defended by Outlaw, shot clock at 10. It is Gatling one-on-one with Grant. Van Horn couldn't get it to him. Shot clock at 5. Gill, pull-up jump. Kendall Gill.
Hardaway was looking for a little push-off, but Gill used that strength. Well-conditioned athlete. Came in handy there. A little trap at half court.
Once again, a 10-point lead for the Magic. Gill went for the steal. Hardaway fending off. Ike Austin left free for a moment. There's the screen by Outlaw. Williams sticks with him. Austin from the outside.
Yeah, that's the one you want Austin shooting. Putting it on the floor and drifting away from the basket. He's not a force on the boards either.
He's now 2 of 8 from the field. 7 points, 4 rebounds.
Yeah, the message was to get the ball to Gatling. It's the second look for him. Oh, you got to catch that basketball up.
Gatling didn't bring it in. Nets turn it over. 11th turnover for New Jersey.
Pretty good delivery there by Keith Van Horn, too.
Grant lobs it to the interior. Austin trying to go off the window. Knocked upstairs. Outlaw kept it alive for Austin. And a new shot clock. Grant the pull-up stroke.
Nets have to get that second opportunity, though, there. They cannot let the Magic, especially with some of the shooters they have, Grant being one of them when he squares up 15 to 17 feet away.
Keith Van Horn with his team down by 12. Ball movement. Gill watched by Hardaway. Harris the jump shot. Rimming off. Williams couldn't grab it. Orlando does. Anfernee Hardaway with his 7th rebound. Anderson. Screen set by Outlaw. Anderson finally misses from the outside, and Gatling the defensive rebound. John Calipari has seen enough. He wants to talk it over with his team at the 8:33 mark of the 3rd quarter. Magic up by 12 here at the Meadowlands. More 3rd quarter action when we come back.
Under Sprite caps, and you could win free Sprite or a $25,000 paycheck.
2 words, kid. Savings account. Nah, let Kobe take you traveling.
You know about traveling. You do it all over the court. Think steady, long-term growth.
I don't know what's weaker, your advice or your game.
Weak?
Yeah, weak.
Hey, don't make me come over there.
Excuse me?
You want me to say it again?
I kind of have to get home.
Anybody here talking to you?
No.
I didn't think so.
The Sprite salary cap game.
You heard me. I don't think I did.
What you do with the money is your choice.
I think you did.
Back at the Meadowlands, championship boxing returns to Madison Square Garden February 20th when IBF world champion Felix Trinidad takes on 6-time world champion Pernell Whitaker. It's the welterweight showdown that boxing fans have been waiting for. Trinidad versus Whitaker. Saturday, February 20th at the Garden. Visit the Garden box office or call Ticketmaster 212-307-7171. Nets give it away. Bad pass. Ryan Evans.
Especially after a timeout. Want to get something better than that.
12th turnover. Orlando has scored 13 points off of those New Jersey mistakes. Horace Grant, nothing but nylon from the outside. Grant has shot better than 50% from the field in 10 of his 11 years in the NBA.
Same play we've seen already with Grant shooting from the outside. That's given the Nets problems. A little different defensive effort that time. It did not seem to appear to work.
Grant now 7 of 8 shooting from the outside. Shot clock is down to 6. Harris trying to make something happen. Hard drive. Rejected by Outlaw. Evans with a shot clock winding down. Harris up high. Tried to clean it up, but Isaac Austin getting a piece.
A better set that time for the New Jersey Nets, but just can't get anything to go down.
Nets shooting 35% from the outside. Hardaway turns the corner. That explosive drive by Anfernee Hardaway.
Just not happening defensively right now. They got to go after Anfernee Hardaway, keep him from penetrating, keep him off the baseline, seal it a little better.
On a 10-2 run this quarter. Van Horn. And it's stolen away. They converged on Van Horn underneath. Anderson. The back in by Austin. Now he'll face Williams. Touch feed, and Anfernee Hardaway getting a little too cute. Kendall Gill will back it out with his team down by 16. Van Horn off the spin fadeaway. Rolling out. Jason Williams was fighting for it. And he will get collared with a loose ball foul.
The play we talked about before, you have Grant who's going to come across and set the screen again, and Hardaway's going to come back. Now watch Keith Van Horn defend this. They used to have Jason Williams run that way after, but now watch Van Horn's going to try to get there. Williams communicates, Van Horn comes over, but Grant is so good at shooting the ball, you just have to get closer to him and get a hand in his face.
Darrell Armstrong has come on for Orlando along with Danny Shea. Scott Burrell, Jim McIlvaine onto the floor for New Jersey. Grant tried to dump it inside. Ball, whoa, knocked towards the sideline, and Jim McIlvaine made a dive for it. Out of bounds, last touch, New Jersey. We'll see Earl Boykins come into the game for the Nets during the next dead ball situation.
Good effort there by McIlvaine. No shot at getting to it, but the effort there still.
Armstrong splitting defenders.
Yeah, when Armstrong comes in, that's the cue when John Calipari said he was going to try to get Boykins in the game.
Nothing but air for Armstrong as the Nets controlled it before the 24-second shot clock expired. 61-45 as we hit the midway point. Third quarter here at the Meadowlands. McIlvaine a post-up opportunity. Tough hook shot from Jim McIlvaine, too far from the rim. Keel saved it for Van Horn, and a foul call. Offensive. Keith Van Horn will pick up number 4.
Yeah, the Nets are getting caught a little bit in their stagnancy.
Van Horn on the drive in. Nick Anderson taking the charge.
John Calipari questioning the fact of whether the defender was standing inside that dotted line that we referred to. Underneath the basket. You'll see the defender. Let's see if the defender stays. There's that dotted line, and watch him come down. And clearly he's a good stride away from the dotted line.
Earl Boykins. Evans, that little head and shoulder fake, and he turned it over again.
Well, and right up in the air, too, Ian.
Armstrong to Outlaw. Big finish, Bo Outlaw.
Well, that was a beautiful finish, too.
He is a tremendous leaper.
Yeah, drifting to his right and slamming it with the left.
And the Magic have leapt out to an 18-point advantage. Coming up on 5 minutes to go in the third. Evans will shoot it. Can't hit the 3. And a foul called. Scott Burrell.
Yeah, Burrell goes after the basketball, and Armstrong drags his arm down with the ball. So against Armstrong, but the Nets just can't get a rhythm at the offensive end.
Nets now down to 33% shooting from the field. You could tell John Calipari is getting more and more upset with Brian Evans with every minute that he plays. Boykins the jump shot. No good. Loose ball foul. Williams went for the rebound. And for Jason Williams, that will be number 3. 13 foul on the net, so a side out for Orlando. Nets this quarter are 1 of 10 shooting. 5 turnovers. 63-45, Magic. Orlando on the 12-2 run here in the third.
A little better set defensively there by Burrell. McIlvaine coming out to pressure the pass. See if the Nets can get a rhythm going here. Evans is a shooter, Burrell from long range, and see if any blocks. You have Jason Williams and McIlvaine on the floor at the same time.
Outlaw. Blocking it with his wrist.
Boy, did you ever see that one lined up. Jason's in trouble. It's Grant right there who's helping Outlaw without even knowing it by making Jason Williams work a little harder for the shot.
Boykins on the dish off. Burrell got caught up in the air. And a foul called on the inside. Or just out of bounds. Out of bounds is the call. 5 seconds to shoot. Outside Williams. Burrell forced to put it up and knocks it down.
That's good legs right there. Very good legs coming off the screen. Get those legs underneath you. It's totally different shooting the basketball. Strong legs, easier shot.
Trying to trap Armstrong. Orlando gets it across. Outlaw have to catch it first.
A little better 2 sets in a row now for the Nets defensively. Jason Williams, that trip with the pop to the baseline forced Outlaw to look at him, and Mr. Daly has to give it a thought.
Nets went on a bit of a run at the end of the second quarter to at least make it a single-digit deficit. They currently trail 63-47. Foul called out front. Darrell Armstrong disagreeing with the call, and Armstrong has picked up 4 personal fouls in just 8 minutes.
Well, when Boykins is on the floor, Ian, he has to keep the pressure on with his quickness. He has to play smart with the quickness. Jason Williams had a dunk just then, but Boykins hasn't been on the floor with him enough to know that that's Jason's kind of signature move to the dunk down the lane.
Shot clock at 9. Boykins resetting the offense. Penetration by Boykins. The jumper, Ryan Evans.
There's the speed, though. Speed will kill you in the lane, and Boykins really put the motors on, brought a lot of bodies to him in a beautiful dish. Now, that's what Evans has to do. He has to be ready to stroke.
Trying to swarm defensively. Orlando handling it in the half-court set. Nick Anderson trying the window.
Yeah, but they ran at him better. They did not allow him to shoot the easy shot. He's been shooting it well all night.
Stutter step Boykins. Burrell is open. Can't hit the two-pointer. McIlvain offensive rebound. Dumps it down low. Evans in a crowd. McIlvain short jump. No good. And it's rebounded by Outlaw. So Nets had some chances to cut into this Orlando lead. It remains at 14. Chuck Daly not content with what he has seen offensively from his team. He takes a timeout. 2:45 left in the third. The Magic on top.
You know, we've been together for a while, and I've been thinking. I don't know, I'm missing something from...
It's all about pulling together to achieve a common goal. This season, 2 great teams are joining forces to bring you tremendous savings. The Nets and Pathmark. Check out the savings all season long at your local participating New Jersey Pathmark stores. Just look for the Nets Slam Dunk Savings displays. And score big savings on your favorite items. The Nets and Pathmark. What a team.
Jason Williams broke his nose in the season opener in Atlanta, and he just took a shot moments ago.
Well, look over on the right side of your screen. You'll see right there, and this side there, you see Jason getting that shot. And here he is down here. He's down on this side. Watch him come out now. The arm's going to come up, and bang, it gets him. And I've never broken my nose, Ian, but I've gotten hit a couple of times across the bridge of the nose, and it just rings. And I can't imagine what it feels like when you have a fracture in there.
That was during the timeout. Jason working on his nose a bit. Shot clock is down to 5. And Harpering now in the game for Orlando.
You don't want to foul there. Good, smart basketball.
Armstrong's jump shot goes over the backboard, out of bounds. Darrell Armstrong came in averaging 13 points per game. He's been held scoreless so far, 0 of 5 shooting. He does have 5 assists, and Chuck Daly getting a little bit antsy with his team leading 63-49, but the Nets showing some signs of life here in the third.
Armstrong also coming in as their assist leader, too.
Boykins lost the ball off the penetration. That's turnover number 16. Hardaway in a matchup with Burrell. Crossover. To the post. Hardaway for 3. They'll count it for 2. Foot was on the line for Anfernee Hardaway. Now has 15 points, 6 rebounds, and 4 assists. Turnovers, part of the story right now. Sam Cassell, normally the starting point guard for this team, still out with the ankle injury. Maybe he comes back tomorrow night against Milwaukee.
Boy, do they ever need his offensive confidence. Oh, another turnover.
Anfernee Hardaway just all over the floor defensively. Could not hit the floater, but Harpering was there.
Oh, that's goaltending.
It is. Burrell got it while it was still rolling around the rim. And just like that, the Magic have built it back up to an 18-point cushion.
And a minute prior to that, I thought Chuck Daly and company was concerned. John Calipari had a feeling that his team was making a tiny bit of a run, and back-to-back TOs, and you're in trouble.
Foul called on Hardaway. Stops the clock with 1:15 to play. Third quarter, 14 foul on the Magic, first in the last 2 minutes. The next one will put the Nets at the free throw line.
And the Nets have one to give. Burrell with the long arm, save that pass.
Burrell, hard drive, and he draws the foul. Scott Burrell will get a pair with 1:02 showing on the clock. 67-49 Orlando. Nets coming off the victory over Atlanta on Sunday night. That after the loss to the Hawks down south on Saturday night. Orlando, team that finished 41-41 last season, beat the Knicks on opening night, came up with a victory over the Boston Celtics the other night. And Chuck Daly, first time in Daly's career that his team did not make the playoffs last season when he's coached a full season in the NBA. He's had that kind of success at this level. 67-51 Magic. Timer down to 3. Hardaway blocked by McIlvaine, and Hardaway went down hard.
McIlvaine did also, but got right back up. Got those legs underneath. The shot clock with 1. Here's the help. Burrell takes a shot also. McIlvaine just pops right back up. This has to come towards the basket, I would think, but they're not allowing it.
Hardaway catch and shoot.
Boy, got that off in time.
Boykin's able to save it. There's about a 10-second difference. Shot clock to game clock, winding down in the third. Nets in a hole. Boykins thought about taking it amongst the trees, but thought better of it. On a crossover.
Good skip pass.
Ryan Evans, rainbow delivery. Jason Williams couldn't grab it at first. Saves it to the wrong man. Hardaway, the lead pass. Harpering. Cherry picking again. Tough angle. Matt Harpering, the rookie.
Well, he gets down the floor in a hurry.
Boykins. Jason Williams, short pop. No good. End of 3 here at the Meadowlands. Williams now 0 of 9 from the field. And the Nets trailing. Down big after 3.
Whether you enjoy working out in the afternoon.
Oh, you mean never dribble with your head down and always look to pass first?
No, you taught me the importance of sportsmanship.
That's true. I've always said it's better to be a good sport than to be good at sports. What was the other lesson?
Mom always knows best.
That was the first lesson your father learned.
I think we both know why we're here. There comes a time in every career when you just gotta hang 'em up. You're not pulling your weight anymore. Look at you. I mean, look at you. I gotta cut you.
Expect more from your credit card. Introducing Discover Platinum. With a new low rate and a cashback bonus award, it pays to discover. Platinum. Call 1-800-DISCOVER.
Get out of here.
Boy, it's jumping Jack Williams in the flash camera. Live from the Meadowlands. Orlando leading 69-51. It's Fox Sports New York, New Jersey Nets hat night. Everybody's getting one. Joel Mandelbaum, who was working early this morning at Nets practice. Wild sweater. Got that one from Carnesecca. The producer, Frank DeGrace right there. Our director, Dave Hagan. Wild whip shots everywhere in the truck. Bob Lawani back there working the graphics. Hey, what a team. Look at this. Everybody in uniform. I did not get a hat, Iron Eagle, and I know that you and Jim Spanarkel did. So we'll be working and fighting over that before too long. Back to you.
It's rather clear. Our crew's credo, if it's free, it's me.
That's it. They will gobble them up.
We'll get one for Crispino, no?
No.
Okay, no. 69-51, just 16 seconds gone by in the fourth quarter. Personal foul called on Bo Outlaw. Scott Burrell firing as Jason Williams came over the back and will get tagged with the offensive foul.
You could just see it line. Jason Williams lining that one up. It appeared as if he had a decent path at first. Well, some of them go against you.
We have seen very little of Chris Gatling. 19 minutes so far, and not sure if Gatling's even going to come back in this game. He's been nursing a number of injuries.
Yeah, the hamstring in particular looked a little off.
Scott Burrell running the floor. Oh, Anfernee Hardaway, the block shot, no goaltending call. Harpring lines it up. Armstrong leaping up in the air to out-rebound taller players on the inside. So they'll reset the offense with the Magic in front by 18.
For the most of this evening, the Magic have been a touch quicker getting to the basketball. I know the Nets at halftime were out rebounding them. Nice look. Backdoor cut, and Hardaway found Harpring. Penny Hardaway, all-around game, 15 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists. Harpring.
And Matt Harpring, 14 points.
He has given them a nice lift. As you see the block shots, that's going to be going in.
Now they went for another, Ike Austin. And as we know, with Boykins and his release, it has a long way to go as it goes up. But Austin did not get that one on the way up. He got it on the way down.
Clearly, and that ball looked as if it was going to go in. And got to keep some pressure on offensively. Nets have to D it up, though, also at their end.
Nets shooting 31% from the field. And they are in an 18-point hole. Armstrong. Darrell Armstrong. Another Magic player who has logged a lot of miles to get to this point in his career. Played in Spain, Cyprus, USBL, GBL, and the CBA.
A lot of letters there, huh?
Well, Boykins not hitting from the outside. For those of you wondering, the GBL, the Global Basketball League. Actually, Espenarkle a tryout for that one. Nets turned it over again.
What's the contract?
Oh, not even close to what you're making right now, big fella.
We go as a package, though, you and me.
18 turnovers for the Nets. Harpring gets it to the outside. Timer is winding down. Hardaway, air ball on a three-point attempt. 9:03 left. We're in the fourth. Orlando, big lead.
You know something, Lou?
Yeah?
I know why we got fired. Too much of your yapping and not enough of this.
What's that? Hey, that was uncalled for.
Oh, and electrocuting us last year was okay.
That was a joke.
Ah, you like jokes, huh? Here's one for you. Two frogs walk into a bar. One of them does this.
Ow! Slap the punk!
Call security!
Who's your daddy?
Yeah, hey, ow!
Want a piece of me?
Frankie!
Look, he's changing colors.
Squirt some tears, punk.
Frankie, I think they're upset.
Ford, built for the way you live.
Whether you like to hit the trails or check out the big city, you'll want to get to the President's Day sale at your Tri-State Quality Ford store today and check out the great deals on Ford Explorer. Now get a $269 a month lease on a go anywhere, do anything Ford Explorer Sport, or get 1.9 financing on every Explorer in stock. So hurry in today to the President's Day sale going on now.
Really? You bet I can get there.
See your Tri-State Quality Ford store.
Dearest Valentine.
To the one I love.
To someone special. Someone special. Roses are red.
Valentine's our special day.
What rhymes with orange?
And you're special as a three-point play.
There's no Z in xylophone.
When we're apart, I'm in a funk.
Cramp.
When we're together, I want to dunk.
That's dumb. No. Now that is bad.
Our in-game matchup brought to you by the New York Marriott Marquis, Broadway's biggest hit. At the point guard position, Penny Hardaway and Kendall Gill. Hardaway, the all-around effort, has taken 17 shots, so the shooting just isn't there. Came in shooting 45%, but he's doing everything else. 6 rebounds, 6 assists. Kendall Gill, 8 points in a role that is rather foreign to him. He has played the point guard position, played it a little bit in high school. and did play it 3 years ago, back in 1996 at this level.
It's a big adjustment, though, for him. I mean, coming out, there's so many different types of responsibilities.
Keith Van Horn fouled by Bo Outlaw, who picks up number 4. Not a shooting situation, so the Nets will get it side out. And Scott Burrell takes a timeout. Couldn't get it into play with 8:54 left in the fourth. And the Magic in front, 73-53.
And when you look up on, you see that scoreboard with only 53 points on the board. Nets have to find some offense somewhere.
Step aside and come back with more fourth quarter action on Fox Sports New York.
With QuadraDrive, the only four-wheel drive system that operates at maximum capability all the time. It's no wonder the all-new Jeep Grand Cherokee is one of the safest ways to cross treacherous terrain. The all-new Jeep Grand Cherokee, the most capable sport utility ever. Check out the award-winning Grand Cherokee Limited at your dealer.
I'm gonna go look at stereos.
Every time we're here, you look at stereos. Then you test them, then you listen to them. Why don't you ever just buy one? They've got Sony, Iowa, Yamaha. The prices are the lowest you've ever seen. You're never gonna find anything better. Just get one. Do it. Buy it. Commit.
You know nothing about men, do you?
Check out the best sellers at The Wiz. Great prices on the top 10 sellers in every department. TVs, audio, movies, DVD players, music, and more. Only at The Wiz, your ticket to entertainment.
Keith Van Horn scoring off of the timeout on the interior, and the Nets cutting into the Orlando lead, but it's now 18. Nets come up with a steal. Van Horn in with a finger roll.
I love it when you don't have to put the ball on the floor. Give it to him and let him go. Nets all of a sudden with a little bit of a burst. Let's see if they can make something happen. They have a couple of minutes before the panic time sets in.
73-57 Orlando. Nets need some stops on the defensive end. Crowd trying to get involved. Armstrong. 5 to shoot. Grant will put it up.
All of a sudden at that, he just can't come up with a loose ball.
Evans comes up with that loose ball. Kendall Gill gets it across. Just under 8 minutes to play in the fourth. Burrell, the dump down for Gill, using the body on the short turnaround.
Big possession right here at both ends of the floor. Rhythm is obviously, and the momentum is obviously tilted now to New Jersey Nets. Whoa, can't do that, Jason.
Williams went for the steal on Harper. Right now, let's check in with Mike Crispino.
All right, thank you. A gentleman here was going to audition for my job, Daniel Stern, so I'm going to turn it over to him right now because he says he can do this job better than I can. Is that correct?
It's not really that tough. He shows up to the game and walks around with the microphone. So, where are you living these days?
I live up in Connecticut. Where do you live?
I live out in California. Thanks for asking.
And you have been doing what lately?
I'm working on this show Dilbert on UPN that I hope everybody watches. Pretty funny cartoon show, or animation show. And I'm really pissed off at these Nets. They're turning the ball over like every other time down the court.
Did you get a hat tonight?
Did I get what?
Did you get a free hat?
No, I didn't.
You didn't? I'm going to work on that.
I got to get a hat.
Are you narrating the voices in this show?
Yeah, I'm Dilbert.
Oh, okay.
I am Dilbert. So
when are we going to see that?
There's a big fight happening.
Let's go back to the court iron before Daniel Stern gets himself in more trouble.
Hey, Daniel, you didn't get the job, my man.
Whoa. Maybe Mike does Dilbert better.
Brian Evans knocks it down for 3. What Daniel Stern was alluding to, not exactly journalistically sound, is that Keith Van Horn got poked in the eye. Not exactly a fight.
A little overreaction, maybe.
75-62. Meanwhile, the Nets are getting back in this game. Timer winding down again. There's a steal. Gill cruising in for the two-handed stop.
His legs look okay. All of a sudden the fans are into this, and Chuck Daly a little nervous. Chuck is on the treadmill over there, walking up and down the sidelines now.
An 11-2 run for New Jersey. And Daly takes a timeout. Nets are trying to rally. Orlando with a 75-64 advantage. Nets trivia brought to you by OmniPoint. Our question tonight, Dominique and Gerald Wilkins are one set of 6 brothers to play for the same team in the same year in the NBA. We asked you, can you name 3 of the other 5? But really, we want you to name all 5.
That's it. Go for the whole thing. Go for the gusto. There's Dominique.
You don't know any, do you?
No, I won't give anybody away. Give any help.
So far, the Nets leading the fourth quarter 13-6 after putting just 8 points on the board in the third. And Orlando has turned it over again. Nets making their move with 6:25 left in the fourth quarter.
There are usually 2, if not 3 runs in a basketball game in the NBA. And that's generally speaking because now these guys are in up to top-notch form, but they have a run going now.
Kendall Gill sneaking his way to the interior.
What happened to the Magic and what happened to the Nets? Total role reversals.
13-2 Nets run. 9-point Orlando lead. Anfernee Hardaway cannot hit the 3. Gill with the leak out by Burrell. And he'll back it out.
What's happening is the Magic are starting to shoot the ball as a team from deeper range. And the Nets just seem to be a little quicker right now getting to the basketball.
Gill has the size advantage on Armstrong. Off the pick set by Gatling. Jumper. Short. Gatling following his own shot. And Anderson tipped the ball to himself. Armstrong lightning quick. Gill went for the block. And Armstrong is going to the free throw line as our cameraman just took a tumble. Vinny Scathini landed on his back and still kept the gum in his mouth.
That's it.
Let's take a look at what Vinny was looking at.
Vinny, duck.
Oh.
Oh. Feet in the air. Vince is okay.
Vinny, you okay? He's all right.
Still got the gum. No hat.
That's
He's all right.
part to me. You figure the gums, he's either going to swallow it or it comes out. Obviously, Vinny didn't think to shave for the appearance here tonight. 77-66 Orlando. Traveling is called.
Now you have 2 sets, and John Calipari looking for a pushing call against his franchise player in Keith Van Horn. 2 bad sets after a few good ones by the Nets.
You see the turnovers, 21 for the Nets. And nearly 1 for Orlando.
Somebody's got to help. John Calipari is going to call for some help. I think that ball went off Penny Hardaway.
T. Kantner coming in. And Joe Forty saying he's got it. John Calipari is livid. Joe Forty going over to the scorer's table. Not quite sure what Forty had to say.
Called a foul on somebody?
He just called a foul on Keith Van Horn, number 5.
Well, that's one way to figure out what's going on. So that foul would come before the tip out of bounds, so that's why the foul overrules that particular play. Look at Hardaway in the corner.
Ball movement, Gatling comes over. 8 to shoot. Hardaway on the perimeter. On the crossover, he beat Burrell. Hanging in the air, the jumper no good. Hardaway following his own shot.
Uh-oh, that might be it for Van Horn. Did you say he had 5?
I did indeed, and it is number 6 for Keith Van Horn. Let's take a look at the play before when Van Horn was called for his 5th.
So you're going to say that he's getting in the way, kind of like pass interference in football, but I mean, that's just a bad play. I mean, sure, there's some contact, but it's both ends.
So a bad call.
Yeah, bad call, because I think, wasn't the call that it was the basketball was the Magic underneath?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, they tipped it out of bounds, and all of a sudden they come back, they turn it into a fouling situation.
And Keith Van Horn has fouled out of a game for the first time in his NBA career. 17 points, 6 rebounds on 8 of 17 shooting, only 2 free throw attempts.
See, and on a night when they've been struggling, as Hardaway hits that second, they really need him down the last 4.5 minutes of a basketball game, because he will take the shots. Oh, brother.
Gatling turns it over.
Hardaway's going to slow it down. It's a smart move. They got a 13-point lead. Clock is their friend at this point. Watch the Grants flare out.
There it is, the jumper. Burrell tried to grab the rebound, but he just did not have the leaping ability that Bo Outlaw did. And a new shot clock for Orlando to work with. If it's going to happen for the Nets, it has to happen here. They trail by 13.
And they'll take about 40 seconds off on this side of the floor. 40 seconds off the clock.
5 to shoot. Armstrong. Straight away 3.
Now look at Grant keeping it alive. Wow, he just can't grab the basketball.
79-66 Orlando. Evans of 3, they need it.
Boy, did they ever. Gives him a little punch back in the belly or so, into the Magic belly. See what the Nets can do defensively.
A former member of the Magic, Evans, has 8 off the bench. 10-point lead and a foul called. Chris Gatling was trying to deal with Nick Anderson on the drive. Nets are over the limit. Anderson is going to the free throw line, where he is not very strong. 3-point shooting. Magic started out hot, thanks in large part to Nick Anderson, but they have cooled off from 3.
There was a day when it was probably smart for Nick Anderson to step away from the foul line and go to the 3-point line and shoot it.
That day is
right now
still here. 67 career games in the NBA. First time that Keith Van Horn has been disqualified with 6 personal fouls. Nick Anderson.
Long.
He is now 0 of 4. Anderson, the loose ball foul. I tell you, ever since that game 1 of the 1995 NBA Finals, where Anderson missed those free throws against the Houston Rockets, he just cannot find the stroke from the line. Confidence is there from the outside.
Oh, absolutely. And we got a great show with him shooting the ball from long range, but tell me that's not a mental thing going to the line.
20 rebounds for Williams, by the way. The dump down, Williams couldn't hold on to it.
Oh, look at this, nobody getting back.
Burrell went for the steal, and he's called for the foul, which is a very wise decision considering the way that Anderson is shooting free throws. So the Nets trailing by 10 with 3:09 to play in the 4th, and Nick Anderson going to the free throw line. For Scott Burrell, that's his 3rd personal foul.
And that turnover once again. Gatling trying to feed the middle of the floor. A lot of traffic down that end, but a 2-on-1 break, and that's the only choice Burrell had.
Anderson. Now 1 for 5. Let's wrap up our Omni-Point Nets trivia question. The other brother combinations to play on the same team: the McGuires, Van Arsdale, Jones, and the Prices.
I don't think that basket is snapped all the way back up there, Ian. That basket looks as if the rim is still pointed down.
I think you're right. Ball was jarred out of the hands of Jason Williams. It does appear to be tilted down a bit. Armstrong blocked by Williams. Out of bounds. 9 seconds to shoot. Tough to tell, obviously, from that angle, but we have a very good angle from our broadcast location.
I don't think it's snapped all the way back. It's close, but not there.
Armstrong, the leaner. Didn't matter.
Yep, didn't matter at all.
Nets down 82-69. 2:35 to play. Burrell looked to the interior where Gatling and Outlaw are battling. Gill splitting defenders as he draws the foul. The 4th team foul called on the Orlando Magic.
John Calipari trying to instruct Scott Burrell to get that ball down in the blocks to Gatling. He was fairly well defended, and Coach Cal just wants him to try to get it down there, though. He knows the importance of getting the ball to Gatling on the blocks, at least to get to the free throw line, worst case.
Gill missing on the first attempt. That was his first free throw of the evening. How have they gone on without Sam Cassell in the lineup? Offensively, it's been a struggle. Even in the victory over Atlanta, scoring points didn't come easy.
And also a second look at Eric Murdoch as you take a look at Ronnie Cycli also. And most of these guys they're shooting for, give or take, Monday at Miami. That's what the word going around is. You wonder whether Cassell may be one of the few guys to come back earlier. Kittle's another name that has to pop up into the equation. They're just taking the clock down. Another 3 seconds on the shot clock.
Anderson, air ball and a three-point attempt.
Oh, they got a foul, I think, beforehand.
Just before the 24-second shot clock expired. It's being called on Scott Burrell. That is a bailout. John Calipari will substitute McIlvain and Boykins for Gill and Williams for the final 2:04 of the fourth. The Nets short-handed once again. They came up with a victory on Sunday night, but doesn't appear as if they'll be able to make it 2 in a row. Horace Grant. His first free throw attempt of the season. 3 championship rings in Chicago, a steady player. Chuck Daly calls him the Rock.
Right, terrific career.
Gatling ahead for Evans. Screen set by McIlvain. Tough off-balance shot for Brian Evans.
A feeler shot.
Evans now with 10 points. Grant running the floor, reverse layup, blocked and a foul.
Outlaw ran him over. McIlvain stepped right in his path.
Bo Outlaw called for the offensive foul.
What happens when you get those taller guys handling the ball? He picks up his 5th foul.
McIlvain all in one move. A friendly rim as he hits hard on the release. 83-74.
Want to foul Anderson if you can. Get to him quickly.
They didn't do it. They're backing up the play defense. Hardaway forced to the outside. Upstairs, Outlaw saved it. Anderson the jump shot. Look at
Hardaway with the save too to save that possession. You got to go quickly. Got to shoot that one.
Earl Boykins connecting from the outside.
Fans still reacting to Boykins. Got a foul. Got to come in quickly.
Matching his career high of 6 points set on Sunday night. Foul Anderson, and that's unable to do so.
They have to foul right here, and they take Hardaway instead of Anderson. Gatling just wasn't close enough to him.
So Penny Hardaway will go to the free throw line. NBA leaders brought to you by McDonald's. Our category tonight, all-time leaders, total points, and Dominique Wilkins enters action number 8 on the all-time list. And look at some of those names.
Nice company, huh?
Wilkins playing with his brother Gerald Wilkins. And Keith Van Horn, who fouled out of this game earlier in the fourth quarter. Not much time to think about this one. They've got Milwaukee tomorrow night on the road. Burrell gets it across.
Oh, he has some range, doesn't he, when he gets his legs underneath him?
Scott Burrell. Quick foul called. Stops the clock with 58.9 seconds left. And Boykins getting his first personal foul. So more free throws coming up for the Orlando Magic. First of 3 meetings for these two teams. The next 2 will be at the Arena on March the 30th and April 30th. Darrell Armstrong at the line for the Magic. Once again, a reminder, the Nets will take the floor at the Bradley Center tomorrow night. Nets and Bucks in Milwaukee. We'll have it for you on Fox Sports New York. Coverage begins with Continental Airline Nets game night. Mike Crispino at 8 o'clock. Tip-off just after 8:30. Penny Hardaway with the steal. It's funny you think about it. What could have been? Penny Hardaway rumored to have been traded to the Nets a year ago right now. For whatever reason, the deal broke down at the end, and Hardaway remained with the Orlando Magic. Looked like Sam Cassell and Kendall Gill would be on their way to Toronto in a three-way deal involving Damon Stoudemire. Nets eventually did some business with the Magic, acquiring Ronnie Cycli, but how these teams would be different right now.
Oh, can you imagine?
Earl Boykins, a three. Knocked outside, McIlvaine for Boykins. Down to 15 seconds left. Evans the baseline jump, and Brian Evans doing a decent job offensively here in the second half. 12 points. Nets will back off, and that will do it. The Orlando Magic come into the Meadowlands and leave with a victory. Nets drop to 1-2 on the young season. Magic 89, New Jersey 81. Nick Anderson had the hot hand early. Nets made a run in the fourth quarter, but it wasn't enough. Anfernee Hardaway, an all-around effort for the Magic, as Orlando improves to 3-1. First of three meetings for these two clubs. Nets just didn't have the firepower tonight, and the injuries caught up to them here this evening.
Yeah, I agree with you. I just don't think overall they had the quickness that Orlando had. They weren't as fast to the basketball, and it showed in the final score.
Step aside here from the Continental Airlines Arena. Once again, the final. Orlando 89, New Jersey 81. Coming up, much more on Fox Sports.